Good evening, everyone. We're going to call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge that the ground on which we live is the traditional territory of Caldwell First Nation, of the Three Fires Confederacy, and the original people of Point Pelee and Pelee Island, and its surrounding lands and waters, and that of the Huron-Wendat and Wyandot peoples. We recognize and respect the First Nations who are stewards of the land and water of Turtle Island and who have embraced this stewardship since time immemorial. We would also like to acknowledge contributions of other nearby First Nation communities and all original people across Turtle Island. We will now have a moment of silent reflection, followed by the playing of our national anthem. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Council, if we can get an adoption of the regular council meeting agenda for March 26, 2024. Moved by Councillor Joe Spagnolo, support by Councillor Carrick. All in favor? That carries. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest? There being none, if we can have an adoption of the minutes of our regular meeting of council, which was held March 12th, 2024. Councillor Burns, support Councillor Reno. All in favor? And that carries as well. Mayor's comments, just a few. I hope everyone had the opportunity to enjoy some family time over March break. This Friday is Good Friday, and I wanted to wish everyone a happy and safe Easter. The town will be closed on Friday and Monday, reopening on Tuesday. And for Friday's garbage collection, it will be picked up on Saturday of this week. Your chance to enjoy Sean Kenny's Animal Superpowers is slowly coming to an end, so come visit us Thursday from 5 to 9. Closed Good Friday, Saturday 9 to 3, closed Easter Sunday, and open Easter Monday from 10 to 4. The exhibit ends on Saturday, April 6th, so it's coming very quickly. And with that, that's all I have for comments. We don't have any public meetings in our hearings, but we'll get right into our presentations and delegations with our Vollmer staff recognition, and I'm going to have Ms. Finero take that.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Worship and members of council. On Sunday, February 25th, at approximately 2:32 p.m., a deer jumped through a window on the north side of the Vollmer Center pool, landing in the hot tub. Within 1 minute, the aquatic staff on duty had stopped lessons and had the pool cleared of swimmers. The employee working at reception called for assistance, and the recreation programmer and all available staff on duty responded to the call and were on the deck within 1 minute and 40 seconds. In total, 18 people from different divisions of the organization with varying degrees of responsibility, experience, and knowledge, responded to the incident and did everything within their power to keep the public safe. They remained calm and level-headed, communicated effectively with one another and the public, and were able to have the deer out of the facility within 6 minutes and 55 seconds. To say this is a remarkable accomplishment is an understatement and speaks to the ongoing commitment of Town of LaSalle staff to provide the highest level of service possible. I'd like to recognize those that were on duty and ask them if they could come to the front when I call their name. From the Public Works Department, Joe Bondi, and Ed Gerard, facility operators who are unfortunately not able to join us tonight as they are working. Cody Rogers, who's also a facility operator. Xander Fralick, who's a janitorial assistant. Jan Aliko from Aquatics. Skylar Catrice from Aquatics. Candice Kaza, who was working reception. Zachary Chiodo from Aquatics. Lauren DeCaro from Aquatics. Shahana, Giavalaka from Aquatics, thank you. Amanda LaFontaine from Programming. Emily Noir from Aquatics. Yusuf Osman from Aquatics. Jeff Pham from Aquatics. Alyssa Tesselin from Programming. Sarah Gallipo, who's the Recreation Programmer for Programming and Fitness. Graham Tyrell, who's the Recreation Programmer from Aquatics. And from Johnson Security Solutions, we had Jagit Singh, who I don't believe is with us tonight. I don't think we have any representation. So thank you. On behalf of the town of LaSalle, I'd like to turn it back over to Madam Mayor, if she has any words that she'd like to say, and we'd like to thank you and acknowledge everyone for your quick actions.
Thank you very much. First, we'll do a quick photo, and then that way they can go back and sit,
Yes,
and then we'll say a
perfect.
few things,
Thank you.
because other members of council may want to join in as well. So if we can get everyone to kind of squeeze in, and we're going to do a nice, great group photo of everybody, and then we can continue. Okay, so obviously, this was something that was kind of exciting in the municipality, and something that we've been able to discuss a little bit since, and I was on AIM 800 a few weeks ago and had the opportunity to send a shout out to our staff, because we know we do a lot of training at the Vollmer, but nothing like this. Nobody would be prepared for this type of incident, but the way our staff handle it really says a lot about the employees we have, the training we have, and we can't really thank you enough for controlling the situation and keeping our patrons safe. So on behalf of council, I want to say thank you, and if anyone else on council wants to say anything, by all means, you have the floor to Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, to all of you guys. You made Fox News. You made Fox News, and the headline was Canada Deer in Pool. Okay? So when I look at the fact that this incident went international, and depending on which feed you look at, by definition worldwide, you guys need to be proud of yourselves, right? This could have gone horribly sideways. Horribly sideways. Calm, cool, professional, young people in our municipality did the right thing. Fox News recognized you. The least that we could do is have you here. So, to the staff who were leaders, who were training, who did everything to make sure that you guys did the job, well done. It shows how an organized team can work. Panic breeds panic. Deer swimming in hot tub, what a cool headline to be a part of. The simple thing of what you did propelled our community internationally, and you are the ones we have to thank for it. So kudos to you. Cool head, cool response. 7 minutes, that's pretty good. Fox didn't call us Canadian, they called us Canada Pool. So lovingly, you guys have made an international splash on behalf of the municipality in the most positive way you could, And it's a testament to your commitment, your training, and those of you who have title, nice job. For those of you who followed that day, nice work. At the end of the day, no one was hurt, which is the most important thing that you should be proud of.
Thank you. Councillor Regis-Spagnuolo.
Thank you. Through you, I just wanted to applaud all of you who worked very hard on making it a great outcome for our residents as well as for the deer. I was in attendance that day at the Valmer for hockey, and many people were running back and forth, and some came to me and they said that the staff, when they were able to witness the staff in the works, they said that you guys did everything so seamlessly and excellent. So I just wanted to applaud you all. Great job.
Okay. Cody. How'd you do it? Well, thank you very much to all the staff. I did get a chance to watch the video afterwards, and I'm still amazed at not just the incident, but the way you all reacted to it. So thank you guys very much. Thank you for coming tonight so that we could thank you in person. All right. So with that, there really isn't a recommendation or anything. We can just give them one more round of applause. You don't have to stick around. So thank you very much. And with that, we'll move into our staff reports. And we have Festival and Events Ontario Awards. So back to Ms. Finero.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Perhaps if I could just go back, there was just one more thing I'd like to add, if I could, that in addition to the immediate response to the incident, we did have staff from many areas that worked tirelessly to get operations back to normal with a major cleanup and repair of the pool area, as well as communicating with the public, the patrons at the Valmer and the media, and issuing credits on account to get us back to our normal operations. So I'd like to acknowledge them as well.
Thank you. That is very important as well. So thank you to everyone. So we'll move on then to the next item.
Thank you. Good evening again, Your Worship and members of Council. Recently, the town of LaSalle was the recipient of 3 awards from Festivals and Events Ontario. These awards reflect the best in industry practices and the hard work and commitment of those who make the festivals and events industry in Ontario such a success. The awards the town received are a Top 100 Festivals in Ontario Award for the LaSalle Strawberry Festival, the Best New Festival or Event with a budget of less than $100,000 award for the Last Call Before Fall event. And perhaps most notably, the town was awarded Municipality of the Year with a population of less than 50,000. This award recognizes the best in municipal leadership and festival and event partnerships in the province of Ontario. The town of LaSalle was recognized as a municipality that has created a supportive atmosphere for the achievement of successful festivals and events. This would not be possible without the involvement of staff from every level and every department, including our Culture and Recreation team, who coordinate every detail of events from reserving the space, collecting appropriate documents and payment, attending regular meetings and ensuring compliance with legislation, bylaws, and town policy, communicating and collaborating with other departments on the many different event needs, booking entertainment, communicating with members of council, ensuring equipment and supplies are ordered, decorating, preparing signage, and being on site throughout events. The Public Works team for all the behind-the-scenes work that happens from start to finish at an event, specifically the parks, facilities, and maintenance staff for ensuring equipment is organized and placed appropriately, the event space is clean and prepped, garbage is collected during and after the event, and returning the space to its original condition post-event. In addition, these employees are often scheduled to be at events to support in whatever way is needed. The Water and Wastewater Department for ensuring safe and clean drinking water throughout festivals and events, our Roads Department for providing traffic safety and road closures, and the clerical staff for the many, many work orders and tasks to get prepared for an event. The Strategy and Engagement Department for festival and event advertising and promotion, endless social media posts, graphics, and photos and videos of the event, as well as all the last-minute communication that needs to be shared during festivals and events. Our Police Department for working diligently with our staff with pre-event and festival meetings to develop safety and security plans, and on-site presence at festivals and events to help manage crowds and ensure the safety of all. Our Fire Department for also working diligently with our staff to develop and review safety plans and conduct pre-event inspections to ensure the safety of attendees. Our Finance Department for assisting with budgeting and cash handling for town-led events and our IT department for helping with the technology needs of various festivals and events, the building department for ensuring the safety of all visitors and adherence to the building code to provide a safe and welcoming environment, our human resources department for providing health and safety guidance throughout the festival and event planning process, council services and legal counsel for input on many agreements, policy development, legislation, and licensing requirements for festivals and events, and our administrative team for support in keeping council up to date and coordinating their participation in various festivals and events. This award would also not be possible without the numerous community partners, organizations, sponsors, and of course council who support our efforts repeatedly. Joining us this evening to receive the award, I'd like to ask staff to come up when their name is called, please. We have Mark Beggs, Tom Bryden, Andy Coghill, John Murphy, and Jason Cheswick from our Public Works Department, Sue Nada from Strategy and Engagement, Andrew Colucci from the Building Department, Linda Jean from Council Services, Tano Ferraro from the Finance Department. From our Police Department tonight, we have Deputy Woods here with us, but we do not able to join us is Mike Augustinus, who sits on our Special Event Review Team. From Fire, we have Chief Thiessen. However, not able to join us tonight is Mike Wiley and Mark Segan, who also sit on the Special Events Review Team. And from Culture and Recreation, we have Scott Bisson, Owen Stitchholler, Julie Turnbull, Jordan Rafuse, Kim Shear, Daphne Arsenault, Crystal Ryrie, and Sarah Gallipo. And lastly, I would just like to acknowledge the awards team who worked hard to complete the application for these awards. Thank you to Owen Stitchholler, Kim Shear, and Jordan Rafuse for your work on the applications.
I'm going to have you all stay there again so we can get the awards and also recognize Ms. Finero as part of this group. I know she didn't name herself, but, and did we mention Dawn? Did I hear Dawn's name? Left all the directors out? Okay, we'll get to that after. Hold on, picture first. I was going to shake all your hands, but that could have taken a really long time. So, and not even that, I know you said you didn't mention the directors, but we know, especially on council, that it is every department, every person in the town of LaSalle that really makes our events a success. And receiving these 3 awards obviously are a huge honor, but being named Municipality of the Year, I think just puts us up at a different level. It really does help us when we talk about trying to introduce new things to our municipality, listening to the creative ideas of our staff and running with some crazy ideas. We need the support of everyone to be able to do those things. And Mr. Militia said it earlier today at an event that we love when the municipalities around us ask us how we do it. And they look at us and they say, you guys are doing a great job. We want this in our community. So we are leaders, but we couldn't do it without all of our staff. And we know that means everyone from every department in the town of LaSalle. So we want to thank all of you again. I usually try to take my 90 seconds on AIM 800 to promote the town. So whenever I can, I do brag about you guys as much as possible. And I just can't thank you guys enough for everything you do for us. Council, if there's anything you want to add? Again, another round of applause for our amazing staff. The recommendation is that the report of the Director of Culture and Recreation dated March 7th, 2024 regarding the awards from Festival Events Ontario be received. Counselor Desjardins, support Counselor Riccio Spagnolo, all in favor. And I didn't ask, Mr. Militia, did you want to add anything? Somebody write that down. Okay. Any staff who want to leave and go have dinner with their family or have other things, please feel free. You do not have to stay. I know our meetings can be long, so you have to stay. It is, yes. Yes, let's hope so. Okay. Well, at least we still have two. Item number 2, our 2023 Annual Fire Service Report, and we'll have the Director of Fire Service, Chief Thiessen.
Thank you, Your Worship and members of council. I'll just highlight a couple of points. I obviously won't go through the entire report because it is fairly lengthy. Our call volume did increase by 116 calls from the previous year. This is a 21% increase, slightly steeper than our historical average of 16.7 calls. Going through the call distribution, you'll notice that on page 21, the public hazard and hydro column there did go up quite significantly. We did have that ice storm last February. Over a 2-day period, this resulted in 34 calls. But you'll also see on that page in that chart there that the medical calls decreased by 10%. And you'll notice that the fire-related and the motor vehicle collisions and the alarms, those types of calls are all trending up with the increase in population. We did see a high dollar loss, fire dollar loss this year of $3 million. It's not that our occurrences of fire were significantly higher than previous years, but the value of homes is, as you know, is increasing quite a bit. And we did have one commercial fire, which resulted in 1/3 of that total loss. And we did have, continuing on with the theme of fires, we did have one fire fatality last year, and in a separate incident, we did have 2 burn injuries, unfortunately. On page 25, I just want to direct your attention to these key performance indicators here. So there's 2 NFPA standards that we're reporting on. And the first one is the need to have 4 firefighters on scene in 4 minutes, 80% of the time. And the second standard is 10 firefighters in 10 minutes, 90% of the time in the urban area, which, as you see there, we achieved this 11% of the time. And in the suburban area, 80% of the time, and we did that 27% of the time. So we continue to, do what we can to achieve these targets. Hopefully one day we will get there. With respect to our team, we did have a total of 7 resignations last year. 2 of them were company officers or volunteer captains, and the other 5 were volunteer firefighters. You'll see from the training section there that our team continues to attend different seminars and conferences just to help us to maintain and be a progressive fire service. And then mental health is, one of our priorities, and we do continue to train our team to help us with our peer support. Those are my comments, but I'd be happy to ask or answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief. Members of council, do you have any questions or comments regarding the report? None? I think it will be very interesting to see this report next year once that second station is open, and hopefully we will see improvement in numbers. I don't know how quickly that'll take place, but.
So we likely won't see that until in 2026 when I write the 2025 report, because we really won't start operating out of the second station until 2025.
Okay, so Recommendation is that the report of the Director of Fire Service, Fire Chief dated February 21st, 2024 regarding the 2023 Annual Fire Service Report be received. Councillor Carrick, support Councillor Burns, all in favor, and that carries. Item 3 are municipal building operating costs, and we'll have the Director of Finance, Mr. Langlois.
Thank you, Your Worship, members of council. So in January, I was asked by Councillor Reno to prepare a report on the operating costs to run each building in the municipality. So I've done so. There is some estimates in there. When there's shared resources amongst all the buildings, we have to estimate on how to allocate them. So with some of the maintenance labor, I spoke with our manager of facilities to an estimate on how much time spent at each building, and I've allocated that based on that percentage. And the building depreciation, as well as the interest on the debenture, has been allocated based on square footage, because we issued a debenture for all the municipal buildings that were built in 2014. So that's how those have been allocated. And other than that, I'm available for any questions.
We'll start with Councillor Reno, since you requested a report, and then Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Dale, I just wanted to thank you for the report. Some of the necessity came through some questions from the public. And as well, it really helps us put in perspective when we see, the costs of keeping these buildings afloat. When we start talking about a $45 million, budget each year, people have to understand that our building stock is important to the municipality, and it costs money to maintain. So thank you very much for the very detailed report. It went over and above. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Worship, through you to Dale. Just one quick question. In my former life, I worked in a police station. We were not the neatest folk. I understand why the police department does not have security costs. That's self-explanatory. But custodial supplies, I'm just trying to reconcile that. If I'm reading it correctly, custodial supplies are nothing, because that's that little dot.
Yeah, that's correct. There's custodial services, so that might be included in that line item. I've just basically pulled from the different chart of accounts allocated to each building. So there could be some usage of, if they might have been purchased as a group and then distributed. So, we're not going to split invoices between each account. There's not really a value in doing that. So that's probably why there's not a specific item there for that line.
Thank you. There was just a funny picture in my head of LaSalle officers cleaning the facility with their own stuff from home. And I just, again, it's one of these questions, as Councillor Reno brought to the forefront, these were questions from the public. So I just want to make sure that that's a great answer, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Your Worship.
Councillor Burns?
Yes. The event center, I show no security. I know I've been at events there. There is security for last year, and yet no costs there. Are they in some other area?
So that security happens when there's an event. So they're not there all the time. Whereas our security here, they're here all the time. So I just took out the cost to keep the building running, right? So I didn't factor that in because they're only there on certain large events.
Just to confirm, the security then would be charged to that event, right? Not, that's why?
Yep, that's correct.
Councillor Burns?
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, so the recommendations that the report of the Director of Finance dated February 20th, 2024 regarding the municipal building operating costs be received. Councillor Reno and Councillor Desjardins, all in favor? And that carries. Item 4, sale of part of Gladys Boulevard to the owner, 1620 Sprucewood Avenue, and we will go to legal counsel for this one.
Good evening, Mayor Malash, members of council. I'm just trying to share my screen just for visual purposes first. So I guess it's coming up on the, there we go. Perfect. So yes, so this is to dispose some municipal property. You'll see highlighted in yellow here on the screen. It is part of what is currently an unused road allowance of Gladys Boulevard. That parcel in particular is 17 feet deep by 75 feet across. It's not part of like an alley program or anything like that, and it's in the town center, so it is a disposal that requires council approval. This is not part of a development application. However, I note that the property immediately adjacent to it was part of a site plan agreement that we did late last year, and we transferred an identically sized parcel, 17 feet by 75 across. So it's exact same size of land that we're looking at. As such, the terms that we're using here in terms of fair market value, we pulled directly from that agreement. Those transfers were done in October, so it is a very recent estimate that we're using. The owner has agreed in principle to picking up the costs of the land to get the survey done and the legal fees associated with this transfer, so there is no cost to the town. In terms of what we're looking to do, again, it creates consistency with what we did next door, but also if and when Gladys extends, I don't know if you can see my mouse on the screen there, through the rest of this right-of-way, you'll see the first few townhomes here where we've already allowed that extra 17 feet, so we'd be looking to do that along that whole way. So this just kind of continues that build-up where these rear yards will eventually become frontages on Gladys when it comes through. So that 17 feet would be consistent going all the way down. Oops, that was an accident. So in terms of the next steps, the owner will be looking to finalize the survey with council's approval. I said don't finalize it yet until we actually have council sign off on this. Otherwise, you're incurring further expense. Once that's done, we get a reference plan. There'll be a bylaw on a future agenda meeting that will formally close that piece of the road that will allow me to transfer it. But I need to have the reference plan in place first, and I figured instead of putting the cart before the horse, let's go to council, let's get your buy-in on this first and foremost, and then we can look to do those next steps. So I am available for any questions that you have.
Members of council, any questions? No? Okay, recommendations at the report of legal counsel dated March 8th, 2024 regarding the sale of part of Gladys Boulevard to the owner of 1620 Sprucewood Avenue be received, and further that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute any and all documents that may be necessary to complete this transaction for the above noted land.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Burns, support by Councillor Carrick. All in favor? That carries. Consent agenda, we have 7 items, as well as the summary reports to council. Is there anything anyone wants to pull out and discuss separately? No?
I would like to support the one from Lincoln Township, I think it is, with regards to urgent need for increased funding to libraries and museums across Ontario. We are going to be building a museum, and I think the library could use the money as well. So I would support this.
You'd like to support item A, the town of Lincoln, and Councillor Renault supports. All in favor? And if we can get a motion to receive all the other items? Councillor Desjardins and Councillor Riccio-Spagnolo, all in favor? That carries. Committee matters. We have Essex County Council highlights for March 6, 2024. We can have a recommendation that those be received. Deputy Mayor Capata and Councillor Carrick, all in favor? That carries. Questions and statements by council members? Councillor Renault?
Thank you. I just wanted to, I know Tom's left now, but I just wanted to thank administration, specifically Tom, because this time of the year, we start to get user groups that are looking to get on their sports fields as soon as possible. And, you know, the town has a way of doing things, and a lot of times we take criticism for waiting a little bit longer than what people want to get on the fields. And in particular, he fielded a question from me about pickleball and why we can't put the nets up in this nicer weather that we were having about 3 weeks ago. And he went through a very detailed explanation about how the posts are mounted and how if water gets in there, we could be up to a $1,500 repair just to fix that post and probably lose a pickleball court for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And it was very well worded, and I sent that off to the person that requested it. And ironically, we got snow that day, and it was really easy to explain at that point. But even without the snow, it was very well done, and it was well appreciated by both myself and the member of the public. So thank you, Public Works, for keep doing what you're doing. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Carrick.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I don't need a report, maybe just a verbal would be good enough. I've had some concerns in regards to Ream Road, the north-south side, from Carnegie up to, I'm guessing, the next one up would be, what, Milosh? Not Milosh, what is it? Sorry? No, going up toward 18 Highway there, Michigan, sorry, Michigan. So anyways, on the south side there, it's all torn up from the work that's been done, and there's been tree trimming and the big ruts and everything else, so people are concerned that the, where their sidewalk is, out past that, it's being all torn up and beat up, and I know that they did work there last year, so they're just wondering if it's gonna be repaired or looked at this spring.
I'm sure we can look into getting that done. Yep, we'll take a look and, yep.
Councillor Reno?
A similar question for Jonathan. I'm going to talk slightly about our Devil's Triangle being the corner of Sprucewood and Matchett, and how you very well explained to us how we own certain parts of the road, certain parts of the land, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to say it that way, but. So somebody brought up to me something that I've noticed over the last couple of years, and I don't know if the road is ours or not, but basically the northeast corner of Sprucewood, when you approach that stop sign from LaSalle going towards the raceway, there are some really big ruts in the road. And when you go through it, you have to go do a couple of these. Is that our road? Is that something that's easily fixed, or is that something that needs like a full mill and pave?
Thank you for the question. That is our road leading up to that spot. I believe probably the reason behind why it's like that, when we did the water main on Sprucewood in 2016 or 17-ish, we stopped the road work just shy of that intersection, thinking that maybe there was a development on the horizon and the roundabout we put in place, so we didn't go into the intersection with that road work. So really the only way to fix it is to, do a shave and pave there. Again, it kind of, you're stopping at the intersection, so you're not driving through, or you shouldn't be driving through, so the bumpiness isn't as big of a factor on a, open roadway, but we can take a look at it. It's just kind of how much, if we do have to mill and pave it, how much money do we want to invest into that intersection?
I guess I just wanted to make sure that our eyes were on it, as like I said, it's something that I've noticed and I've just kind of lived through, because like you said, you do have to stop there, but when you do get going, it's like you're on a country road. But when somebody else brought it up to me, then it's kind of my job to bring it to you. So, okay, thank you.
Any other questions or statements? Okay, notices of motion? I have two. So instead of doing the chair dance, I'll just let you take it from there. I'm going to turn the chair over.
Thank you very much. I'll now chair the meeting. I understand, Mayor Milosh, you have some notices of motion that you'd like to bring forward.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So I do have two. The first one was regarding the announcement yesterday with the MOU signing between Parks Canada and Caldwell First Nations. I was wondering if we could get a report from administration with a update or status of the project, where it is today and where we're looking to go in the future. That's number one.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Your second notice of motion, please.
And the second one I have is with our new developments that are off Martin Lane and the increased traffic we're seeing on Front Road, I'd like council to support Deputy Mayor Acapata and myself to introduce a motion to the County Council requesting a traffic control study at the intersection of Martin Lane in Front, as well as at Victory in Front Road, to assess the requirement for traffic signalization to assist not only with traffic flow, but also with pedestrian safety. Whereas this intersection is owned by the County of Essex, but is located within the municipality of LaSalle.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I cede the chair.
Okay, with that, we have the reporting of our closed session on March 19th, 2024. Council met in closed session and received information on 3 matters, all of which pertain to Emergency Operations Center training, volunteer firefighter update, and development application process training. We have just the one bylaw, so that the following bylaw be given a first, second, and third reading and finally passed, which is 8870, a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw number 8600, the town's comprehensive zoning bylaw as amended. Councillor Reno, support. Deputy Mayor Akpada, all in favor? That carries. And that brings us to our confirmatory bylaw. That confirmatory bylaw 8871 be given a first, second, and third reading and finally passed. Councillor Carrick and Councillor Riccio Spagnolo, all in favor? That carries. Your schedule of meetings is attached. Thank you if you attended in person today and online. Everyone have a great night.